Hey, what's up guys? Justin here with AmericanTrucks.com, and listen, if you'd like to switch up the look of the factory taillights on your 21 and newer F-150 equipped with those factory halogen blind spot taillights, well then these black LED options will certainly be a solid and I would say very aggressive choice. Now these DOT approved tails will feature that black housing with a lightly smoked lens along with high intensity red and white LEDs and my personal favorite, sequential turn signal, all for right around that low to mid $800 mark. First things first, let's talk some features here with these options, and the biggest, in my humble opinion, will be the wild change in appearance over your factory taillights. I don't have to remind you guys what stock taillights look like. You see them every day. They're pretty vanilla, not that exciting. And if you feel that way and you want a pretty big switch, well then these are certainly going to help deliver that. On top of that, this is going to be a full LED upgrade here, guys. There is zero part of a halogen taillight remaining with these options here. These are going to upgrade you 100% to an LED, which will not only make for better visibility through the improved brightness, but it's also going to deliver, I would think, a higher end appearance overall, more reminiscent of some of the higher trim level trucks. Now on top of that, guys, you're getting this really cool diffused LED outline that's going to run the perimeter of the taillight here. I think that looks really sharp. Again, kind of a nod to those higher trim level F-150s. And on top of that, it's also going to boast a sequential LED functionality for those turn signals. I think that's awesome. Certainly it's going to help deliver a custom look there. Really just increase the overall appearance of the taillights themselves. Now, helping to increase that overall appearance from the rear end once installed will be that very aggressive combination of the black ABS plastic base or housing, which is then even kicked up a notch thanks to the inclusion of the lightly smoked lens. And that's going to really help deliver that custom blackout look that a lot of truck owners are into, myself included. Now, I did briefly mention that diffused LED outline running the perimeter of the taillight here. Well, that same kind of feature or look can also be found around this block here as well. That's going to frame some more LED lighting, red LED lighting in the middle of that block to handle things like your additional running lights, brake lights, turn signals, and so on. Can't of course forget about our LED reverse lights. Those are going to be found in these bottom blocks here, immediately next to the blind spot radar location. I'm a really big fan of how these taillights implemented that blind spot location because, you know, on the factory taillights, you really can't miss it. Sticks out like a sore thumb. Here, it kind of disappears into the rest of the light and just looks really, really seamless, and honestly, big fan of that. Now, despite the aggressive look of the black housing, lightly smoked lens, these taillights still do receive the DOT and SAE approval, and that will make them legal for use in all 50 states. And that is a testament to just how bright those LEDs are to really shine through that lightly smoked lens. Now, ultimately upgrading to a full LED taillight is not gonna be cheap. Case in point, these taillights are gonna land you right in that low to mid $700 range. It's gonna put these right in line with other options in the category, including the Morimotos. But again, you are getting a ton of features out of these lights, in addition to the fact that you are upgrading to a 100% LED option. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if you were to go down to your local Ford dealer, try to buy a set of LED taillights, it's certainly going to cost you a lot more than the options that we have here today. Last but not least, let's move into the installation. And honestly, guys, this one is going to be extremely straightforward thanks to the 100% plug and play design. That's right, zero wiring modification needed here for this particular install. However, again, you will need to transfer those blind spot radars from your factory taillights over to the new headlights here, or taillights. Very simple stuff, but because of all that, the site's still gonna stick with a pretty solid 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, 20 minutes at least to complete from start to finish. Now, to give you a little bit more information on how the job might go down in the garage or driveway at home, let's check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a plastic pry tool, a Phillips head screwdriver, 8mm socket, T20 Torx socket, and a couple microfiber towels.
What's up, guys? Today we're installing a set of taillights on our F-150, so let's get started. So to remove our factory taillights, we have 2 8mm screws in the side, so we'll grab an 8mm socket to pop those out. Now with our screws removed, we can pull back on our taillight and push in the tabs to disconnect our connectors. And then you can do that same thing on the other side. Now before we get our new taillights onto the truck, we're gonna have to swap over our BLIS module from our factory to our new one. We have 4 T20 Torx screws holding it in on the factory and 4 Phillips head screws holding in this cover on our new one. So we'll get a Phillips head screwdriver for that one, T20 Torx socket for this one, and swap it over. So now we'll take a T20 Torx socket to pop out these 4 screws. And then we're going to be popping this connector off of that bracket. So we can just wiggle it off. It's held on by that clip. And now we'll take a plastic pry tool to pry up our cover. And then we'll push in on this white tab to disconnect our connector. Now we can grab our Phillips head screwdriver to remove the cover on our new taillight. We'll get that plastic pry tool to pry this up. And then we can grab our wire, connect our connector, and then drop this into place and press it down. And then we'll just reinstall our 4 screws. And then we'll do that same thing for our other taillight and get these installed on the truck. So now we can install our new taillight. We're gonna take our 2 boxes and drop those in behind our wiring first. And then we can plug in our 2 connectors. And then we'll tuck those wires and slide our taillight into place. Now we can reinstall our 8mm screws. And then we can do that same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the full LED taillights with sequential turn signals and black housing smoked lens for your 2021 and newer F-150 with factory halogen BLIS taillights. Thank you for watching, and for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.